Good morning and welcome to Dr. Lamba explains Sikhism. And when we study this religion, we find there's something unique here. Unique in the sense that all religions have those, but here the emphasis is much more. There's the word Hukum. Now, Hukum in ordinary language would mean order. But here in Sikhism, when the word Hukum is used, it's not temporal order. It's not law and order problem. It's not order out of confusion, creating an order. It's all of them. Now, this is a word derived from Arabic, and the real word has much more than the mundane meaning of order. It's divine. And so much importance is given to this word in Guru Granth that the entire Gurmukh wisdom revolves around it. And I'm sometimes amazed that the Sikh theologians haven't talked of this word Hukum, how imperatives of this word are so strong and so clear that it is all-pervading, it's comprehensive, and it sustains life. And it's very important to be a part of the system, the divine order to attain inner peace. And that's the goal of every human being, to have peace. Peace of mind, calmness. If I look at Guru Granth, the first word which come to my mind are Hukam Razai Chalna Nanak Likhya Naal. O Nanak, thou shalt obey the command of the Lord and walk the way of His will. Now, this sort of a thing that follows the order is not destiny oriented. It is that, okay, whatever happens would happen. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to take action, because the order also means, and in Sikh religion, one thing I like to mention here is that there are no divine injunctions to do this and not to do this, to eat that and not to eat that, to drink this and not to drink this, to dress this way. No. Except that the culture was formed and the dress code was there. There has been no inhibition and no restrictions. You have to live a normal life. You have three things you have to do. One is the honest living, the other is contentment, and the third is one chakna, kirt karna honestly, and one chakna share. Now, translated as Pavitra Niyam. Pavitra is pure, Niyam is discipline. Hukam is referred to as Reet in Vedas. So it's not something which was originated even in Vedas. It's referred to. Dhamma is the term used for this order in Buddhism, Dharma in Jainism, and in Islam is so-called Al-Qadar, exemplifying the Allah's predestination. But this written Vedas, Dhamma in Buddhism, Dharma in Jainism, and Al-Qadar in Islam stress one part. And when Guru Nanak and other gurus talked of Hukam, they combined all them. It is just a law of universe, as are the laws of gravity, light and sound. Hukme andar sabko, bar hukam na koi. Everyone, human being, animal, vegetation, planets, galaxies, solar system, stellar system, all are subject to the law, the order, the divine order, and no one is beyond that. And it is through this Hukum that you experience bliss and are able to overcome grief. Somebody dies, Hukum Razai Chalna, Nanak Likhya, now you say again. Well, it had to be, this is a part of life and that sustains you. Mind creates a fancy world of its own and prefers to live in that dream. Actions that please the mind are accepted by human beings. But the cosmic reality represented by Hukum makes us behave according to the way ordained, not running away, but full participation, doing your job and leaving the rest to what is going to be, but not compromising on performance of the job. So a conflict thus arises between what's happening inside us and the world outside us. And that conflict is resolved when you abide by Hukum. Hukme andar sabko, bahar hukum na koi. And in the world of sufferings, the human life is full of suffering, as Hardy says, pleasure is an occasional episode in the general drama of pain. And that's right. So there are two ways of living. One way is to live a life of conflicts, contradictions. And the other is to live a life of surrender. The ego of a human being thrives on the conflict, but it is sublimated in surrender. I am not saying it's annihilated, it's sublimated. So ego lies in the ignorance, arm the order. So whereas surrender removes this delusion and transforms that arm the order to arm an instrument, arm a means to an end. The end has been decided by some other agency. There's a God. Again, God is not as a person but as nature, as cosmic entity. You see, when you are just a fish in the water with a Hukum to go with the flow, any attempt to change that course is sheer absurdity. Again, from Guru Granth Sahib, Nanak hukme je buje, ta hukme kahe na koi. So the one who has understood this command doesn't need any other Hukum. Hukme kahe na koi. Nobody else has to order him. He is a part of the process, a natural process. And when you are a part of the natural process, the question of having disturbance, confusion, haziness is not there. The question then arises, do we accept defeats and victories as God will and do nothing about them? No. The Sikh religion elucidates that if you have the ability, then it's also your Hukum to take action. Hukum doesn't mean that you become a lotus seater. Then you just say, okay, everything will be done by God. No. You have to take action. There's a part of Hukum. But if this ability is not in your destiny, then it's prudent to accept your providence. If it's not successful, you would have taken an action that's not fruitful, it doesn't fructify the way it should be, then that means you accept it, because that is going to be. So it's a duty to work, but desire for fruits is against the Hukum. Desire for fruit, not hoping. Hope has to be there, but not overweening greed and desire. As a matter of fact, even Gita says, do your job and leave the result to God. So it's the same concept, but enwrapped in a different way. And accepting this Hukum doesn't mean giving up. It only means that rather than blaming the circumstances, blaming others, and blaming those issues over which you have no control, You change the way to look at life. What you can control, you do. What you can't control, let it be. You are not here to create. You are to create within the parameters prescribed for you. And if joy and sorrow come from the same hand, then don't differentiate between joy and sorrow. Because both joy and sorrow are a part of life. And the day you realize that joy would follow sorrow and sorrow would follow joy, as days follow the night, as spring follows the winter, as autumn follows the summer, then you accept things. But you don't stop. Say it's winter, you don't stop heating your home in the hope that what's going to be is going to be. No, action has to be taken. So that's why in Guru Granth is written, Jine pasanta hukam kade na roiye. So those who recognize this order, this command, this desire, this system, they never feel bad, they never weep, they never are dejected. Dejection is a part of defeat. And Sikhism doesn't believe in defeat that way. It believes in acceptance. It doesn't believe in defeat. And it also says that to say the whole world is against us, it's raged against us, is not a part of Sikhism. Universe is not against you because you're a part of the universe. How can a part of your body be against your body? So since you're a part of that universe, to say that the whole world is against me, the whole universe is against me, is absolutely violating the order, the hukam. Jine pasanta hukam kade na roiye. So, stop resisting, but do your job. Now, when you align with this hukam, when you accept it as a part of life, when you accept it as a part of your everyday existence, then what happens? You harmonize with the cosmos. I'm not talking of a divine outside agency. If you want to call it God, you are welcome to call it. But it's the will, the universal will. And you have to attain the word peace by adhering to hukam. Jime jime hukam teve sabikar. So whatever the order comes, we accept it. So accept it. Sabikar is a word which is there. So if you don't want to weep, if you think this hukam is a part of life, not an inhibiting factor, but as a sport. As a matter of fact, this is a sport for you in the bad times. Well, I have done my job. Now, it's like a soldier going on a war. He is shooting till the last bullet. And in case he has to die, then he is a hero. It's better to die once as a hero than to die 100 times like a coward. So the hukam gives you that strength, that inner strength, because you are carrying out the command. A soldier would always be happy when he is carrying out the command of his commander. Because he knows, he tells the commander that the commander would not do anything wrong. But if it is going to be a defeat, and defeat can be because of 101 reasons, then that doesn't mean that you get disappointed, dejected, or despondent. So, hukam basically is a hope. It is a way of living. And Sikhism itself is a way of living, as all our religions. But one thing which is there is, as I said earlier, Sikhism has been misinterpreted or not interpreted as a composite one. This is the religion which, on one side, is a call for action. On the other side is an absolute participation in the life as an participant. But at the same time, no greed, no entitlement. And this believes in sharing. Sharing as a part of everyday existence without any sense of discrimination based on caste, color, creed. So, jime jime hukam teve niranकार. That hukam becomes the crutch, the sport, the guidepost, and a milestone. Each milestone is one hukam. And your life, led according to hukam, is a life of attainment, of achievement, and also of contentment. This is a life which, when you live it, you would not feel bad because you have done your job. And having done your job gives you the satisfaction and is in fact the salvation. The moment you accept it, without in any way inhibiting or obstructing your will to work and take action, then you become a real part of Akal Purakh, the ultimate God. Thank you.